Welcome to the C.S. Joseph podcast. I'm your host, Chris Taylor, also known as Raka. Today's question is, why do Templars need reactions from others to have clarity? Pretty good question. You're SE users. Thanks for coming to the video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. And kidding. That is a part of it. So Templars, you guys are SE and FE users as a whole. So you guys are mirrors. You guys don't track very well what your own comfort is, and you guys don't track very well what your own values are. Depending on which Templar we're talking about, different struggles for different people. You guys have a hard time. So let's just go over the shadow functions. Any, FI, SE, or no, any, FI, TE, and SI. Okay, so all of these apply at different levels to the different Templars, but you guys struggle with understanding the consequences of your own actions and the domino effects of other people's actions. You guys have a repressed sense of value, what is important, whether to you or other people, if you're projecting what's important to you. You guys tend to have poor long-term memory, and you guys have a hard time with the baseline information, so rationale, TE, so the value of information. So why is it important? Why does this combination of functions in the shadow, and none of them in the ego, cause you guys to need to have reactions for others for clarity? So first things first, SE gives you guys a good read of what people are, how strong somebody is, what their discipline is, along with FE, what their comfort is, what their values are. Right? So SE and FE, it's easier for you guys to understand what other people value and how comfortable other people are when you're looking externally through those functions. You guys tend to mirror other people, both in their behaviors and in their values. So by having reactions from other people, you're better able to actually take that skin that you're wearing and get a better understanding. So when you sit there and you're just in your head trying to imagine what is going to happen, or what's important, or what routine you should have, or what's discipline, when you're just trying to keep that in your head and think about it, it really creates a lot of chaos in your mind. One of these functions is going to be your trickster. One of them is going to be your demon function. One of them you'll be critical towards, and the other one will be a slight worry. So depending on which stack you are, which actual Templar you are, these problems are certain problems are going to be bigger than others, right? But as a whole, you need to have that external cause and effect. You push, you immediately are able to see what happens. This provides you clarity, especially since you're TI users, because you can form a logical chain off of what's actually happening rather than what could happen. And so it's very important that you guys actually have those reactions to people. You say something that causes somebody to react in a certain way. Now, the danger here is that mental clarity does not always mean that you are right. Okay? Because again, you guys don't see, when you push a domino, you guys only see the initial stack of dominoes. But imagine if this line of dominoes had invisible strings that when one falls, a different one in the stack over here that's tethered between these two also falls. That's NE perception. That's consequential perception. You're seeing the relation between these seemingly unrelated things happening. So while the reactions give you clarity, be mindful that there are more effects than just what you're seeing. It's never as simple as you push and the person gets pushed back. From your eyes, that's all you see. You get their reaction to things. You have that physical, tangible feedback in the moment to what's going on. But that doesn't mean that's everything. So one of the biggest things here is just the fact that you guys need that shared experience in order to utilize your ego functions as a whole. But it's not just that you need those reactions to have clarity. That alone is not going to provide you clarity. I think I've said this in like 2 other videos, maybe. But your guys' environment dictates your mindset. That's not just reactions. A reaction is not enough for you guys to have full clarity. So, if you guys want real clarity, your environment needs to match what you're trying to go for. This is the crux of NISE. Willpower. The will is an I. It will happen. I will. I want. I am pursuing. It is a point in the future I am moving towards. Where does the power come from? SE, environmental manipulation. Do you understand that if your environment is if your environment's messed up, I'm not trying to get this channel demonetized, although I have to be careful. If your guys' environment is chaotic, if there's too much going on, if it's consistently disorganized, you're not going to have mental clarity. Your guys' environment directly impacts where you're going, your direction. It directly impacts your ability to function. Keep your environment maintained, or move yourself to an environment. And so many of your guys' issues really just come down to you're not setting your environment up to set you up for success. Your environment is your mental space. And I know you guys are TI users, and that's introverted thinking, and so you process things internally. But TI requires input. Input is TE. But you know, your environment can represent that input. Your SE can feed into your TI. For you guys, mental clarity is akin to consistency, just external consistency. Fix your environment to fix your mind. Environment also means the people you're around. It's everything. When you go out into the world and you start interacting with the world, you need to understand that everything around you has the implication that it can affect the way that you're functioning, the clarity in which you're thinking. So, clarity is not just about getting reactions. It's about your environment. Now, let's get into some specific types. Let's take the INFJ. You guys have the constant chaos of TE trickster in your head. And this is made worse by you misremembering information. So, and just an overall lack of discipline as a whole. So how do INFJs gain mental clarity? Make sure you have reminders for your discipline. You need to get into the habit of taking notes. Make sure that you're actually going and asking questions to verify, so you can get the things out of your head. Your TI child constantly is processing, chewing, and you're always looking for something to process on top of. Find a TE user to validate or verify or justify, however, the information that you're building your logic off of, so that you can trim that chaos. ISTPs. Your guys' chaos, your guys' fog and lack of mental clarity comes from your NE, not understanding consequence. And so for you guys, pretty straightforward. Make sure that you're going to an NE user and being like, hey, if I do this, is it going to cause a lot of problems for other people? Is it going to cause a lot of chaos for other people? Right? For the ESTPs, FI trickster fogs your mind. Is this moral? Is this good? Is this right? Is it the right thing to do? Again, go to others. All of these things are going to tribute to going to another person and getting input. Because T is in your guys' shadow. You need to have that input. Now, all the types to an extent, but I digress. For the ENFJs, your memory is your chaos. Photos. Make sure you're asking people, hey, is this how this actually happened? Am I misremembering? Now, you guys have probably noticed the pattern. Your tricksters are what's causing a lot of mental chaos for you guys. For SE users, address it with your environment. Address it with other people. Right? Pictures are a great way to address environmental discipline. The consequences, you're going to want to actually take notes, right? For the TE tricksters, make sure that you're researching both sides to an argument. For the FI tricksters, you need to imagine, if this was somebody else, would I think that it's okay that they're doing this? You guys as a whole can utilize your child, externalize it as if it was another person, and use that to determine, would you be okay with somebody else doing this to you? Anyway, if you found this lecture useful, helpful, insightful, leave a like. I'll see you guys down in the comments. And make sure you guys are on the Discord. Plenty of people on there for you guys to actually talk with and communicate to and ask these questions. We have a whole verified channel for those that are verified. And you can kind of start to address these things, this mental chaos. But get your environment squared away. Anyway, have a good night. I'll see you guys on the next episode.